Hey, Cactus crew, how you guys going? I hope you're going well. I'm doing so much better. If I could figure out my microphone, just let me know how my audio is going. Come in, have a chin wag with the crew. Oh yeah, if you're new, hi, I'm Bill. Welcome to CB Live. This will be my first reaction, like all my videos are. Might need to change that because it takes me forever. But yeah, this is part 1. And yes, we're behind. My spirit animal is a snail, so we can't help it. But I prefer to come in from no, that sounds bad. Yeah, replay crew. Make sure you check out the timestamps. They're in the description box with a bunch of links. And I'll put those links in a pinned comment after the live so they're easy to access because I've been on this carousel from hell for 5 years. Saying that, I'm like, how the hell have I remained sane? It's the same thing over and over and over. That's why I call it the carousel from hell because you can't get off. Yeah, so what I say about Katie, it's because I know, okay, from 5 years of covering her, but you don't know. So that's why I'm going to supply all the links in the pinned comment and description box that will, back up whatever I say. And then you can go and research it and come up with your own conclusion because it's just my opinion. This is not fact. When we're covering Katie, it's always fact. No, it's not. It's not. You conclude that on your own. Fact can mean so many things. Okay, we are getting off point. I have no idea what this live's about, but I'm going to check with Cactus crew just so we don't end up, like last time. I'll link them below my previous lives on Katie's TikTok. My previous reaction on Katie's TikTok when she's talking Gypsy Rose, but she's not really talking Gypsy Rose, no. She's the narcissist projecting, letting us know exactly how she works. And I think I did a live this time last year, just before Gypsy was released. And it was Katie's playing with fire because she still is. She needs, and if she had self-awareness, she probably wouldn't be covering Gypsy because, and I'm just thinking, is she covering Gypsy? But she must be because that's all she does on TikTok because she needs the money. And for some reason, people are giving it to her like she's an expert. But she was, used by Christy and Gypsy for 5 years and posted everything they said. And it's only been since July this year, might have been June. I think it was end of May, June, that they cut her off. And she's been, on the outside, looking into the Christmas tree, and Gypsy's in her shoes that Katie can't afford. Okay. I sing when that's my brain fart when I sing. Guys, I'm ready for this. Are you? You better be. You better be. I can't do this alone. Yeah, like, subscribe, comment. Oh yeah, like comment at It's Crystal Bill because I've changed my handle on my channel. Everything matches now, so you can follow me on Instagram, X, TikTok, and Facebook at It's Crystal Bill. And CB Shorts are back. Post 10 a week. Check that tab out. I'm proud of it for something as shocking and repetitive as it is. I'm proud of the short section because there's over 1,000, definitely. So we're just gonna move on and click the button with the music and let's get on with it. Goodness, I just want to sing all day. Guys, Cactus crew, how are you guys going? Do I sound different? How's my audio? Because I just set up my whole desk again. I dropped the ball last week, but Katie, like I said, at least I've got one to drop. You've never had a bore. I mean, you are without a bore, without a crystal ball, and your husband doesn't have any either. Okay, I really need to put a cork in my mouth. But yeah, apologies for my past 2 lives. Like I said, like I listen to them back and I sound sick and I sound really slow, and like I just remember struggling so much because I was meant to be on antibiotics. I had this like infection that I didn't know I had. And yeah, Katie, you know, the trip to the hospital. Whoa, my mind is back. I'm back. I'm feeling good. I know you're not. Katie still got MRSA, neglecting it. I'm sure there's more TikTok lives after this and we'll go through them. I mean, I'm not in a rush. Are you? No, you're not. I'll let you know. Yeah, but thanks to Llama Girl for these videos, because without her grabbing them and putting them on TikTok, a link to follow her is in the description box. But yeah, at AllieRod8, I think it's an 8. I'm just going off memory there on Twitter. What a legend, like in a different time zone and still bringing us the videos. Oh, hey Goose, Cactus high five. Oh, Michelle, it's good to see you guys. SD, oh, your name's not coming up. It's just blank. No. Oh, how you going, I'm just gonna say Beth. How you going, Beth? I love Beth. The name Beth from Little Women. Is it Beth that dies? Okay, anyway. No, not like anything. Okay. I need to get my brain. Thank God for this bit. We can just edit it out. Can you even hear me? I feel like my microphone, although my laptop is too far away, I can't see anything. Oh, did Goose did you accidentally put SD in timeout? Goose is the only one with a tool. Okay, we are going to press this button and it's gonna take us where we need to go. Fuck, it's a singing night. I'm sorry, guys. Yes, here we are. This one. I have no idea what it's about. Do Cactus Crew, you want to give me a heads up? She's not talking to Fancy like she was last time, and it took me like 10 minutes to figure it out because Fancy's got a new voice. It's a fancy voice. Okay. God, if you just survived that dribble and now we're about to start, and I'm just going to press play and then we'll get our bearings and then I can comment because for anyone listening at home, we're not in the drinking chair. We are upstairs in the funeral waiting room. So everything she says, her son can hear crystal clear because their room is next door. Yes, Katie sleeps in the same bed as her 12-year-old son who has all these medical conditions, and she has MRSA, which is it I want to say MRSA. Okay. Cause Katie, it's coming all the way. Okay, we just got to press play. Oh, we're here. We're moving forward as a Cactus Crew.
I recognize that I did make a mistake and I apologize that it was not intentional. It wasn't trying to hurt anyone's feelings. It was a bad source. I'm not gonna use that source anymore or whatever. It's always worked better than doubling down and saying that what I said was true. That's just been my experience. I don't know what anyone else does. I'm not here to tell anyone else. I know who you mean. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Julie. And I think that when you get a story wrong, it can be kind of embarrassing. And I had a story that I got wrong with Sister Wives based on information given to me by a neighbor. And I had media outlets just like in this case, running the story as though it was true. I had the company reach out to me and say, that wasn't true. Can you please correct the story? And I did. And I had to say I got it wrong. That was very humbling for me. Guess who I never used as a source again? That neighbor. Sometimes in this line of work, you get stories wrong. Doubling down on your being wrong and then threatening people that say that you're wrong says a lot about who you are. That's just how I view it. Like, if someone's trying to say you got this wrong and they're not doing it maliciously and there's no malice and they're not trying to hurt you, they're just trying to correct you.
I should put my headphones on, but I love captions so much. I can still kind of hear her, but yeah, so she's using words from her lawsuit. Yes, Katie's currently being sued since March 2022. It's been going on. So yes, before she gave the information that she was being sued for defamation, she gave that same information to Netflix, which, you know, like, that's one of the things that 7M need to prove, that she shared the defaming information with a third party. So she's sealed her fate. And now she's using the words, you know, it wasn't done with malice. Everything Katie does is with malice. Look at it. Like, we started off and she's got her arms crossed. Anyone know what that means? It's obviously uncomfortable, not loose, ready to fight. Oh God, I can't handle the filter. Okay, I wasn't even looking at the filter because I'm still looking at the top going, what made you wear that? It's not your color. Paint your walls. Paint your fucking... Apparently she did paint the walls, but it's a lighter shade of bile. So,
And, you know, none of us are perfect. None of us are perfect, but let's be honest. She got the story that Ken and Gypsy broke up false. I don't know who you are, CJ.
Katie, okay, so now I know what's going on. She's talking about Nina. Katie, you got it wrong that Team Mum was cancelled or that Amber was being fired. Both wrong. And that was in your early days, like 2020. Actually, I don't know, 2019. And what else did you get wrong? Something with Shane Dawson and the guy that I can't remember his name, but it's like Kentucky, but it's not. You know that guy? God, that's going back. Where Katie said to contact Policeman Payne. It's not policeman, Detective Payne. Yeah, who didn't exist. And what else? Yeah, multiple things. So don't sit there on your moral high chair. I hope you're strapped in and you've got the tray down, because there's going to be a lot tonight on your menu.
I don't know who you are. But if you get a story wrong, you're a friend of who? If you get a story wrong, doubling down on that wrongness just makes you look, at this point, kind of belligerent, because now you're threatening people that are saying it's not true. Now, let me explain to you the snake in the grass. I'll tell you how Kristy works.
I've never heard that one. That is a new cliche for Katie, but I don't think, you know, I think you got the joke wrong, because like the kid's meant to run in and say, Mum, turn on your headlights. There's a snake in the bush. But yeah, snake in the grass at Katie's house because she's surrounded by swampland. I can't believe that you're sitting here like you. I was going to say something else when she scratched herself like a dog.
works and operates. Bree will say that this is not how they operate, but I know for a fact, did you like that? That they do operate in this way. They give information to different people. They tell half-truths to different people. They spread misinformation around, and they do this for two separate reasons, okay? One, I'll tell you for a fact, their goal, I have text messages to prove this, is to ruin Nina. Their goal is to completely destroy her platform. That's what.
But that's only going to happen if Nina lets her. Because, Katie, no one is as stupid as you to be used by Kristy and Gypsy for 5 years, to have people telling you you're being used, to have Fancy tell you from day dot that everything they say is a lie. So even them coming out saying that it's not true that Urker left is a lie, in my opinion, because they lie about everything. And you're like, I know they're after Nina. No, that's you. Like, why even put this out into the world unless you want it to happen? And that sounds like you want it to happen because these people are your competition. But guess what, Katie? You covered Gypsy like you were best friends in that inner circle for 5 years, and we learned nothing from you. You brought nothing to the table. You just regurgitated the same shit they want out there. The Munchausen by proxy narrative, which you love because, well, you are a munchie mum, in my opinion. But yeah, I've got a whole playlist that proves it.
What they want. And they want to do this by discrediting her, making her look like she gives out bad information, by taunting her, by baiting her. Gypsy has said that she wants to completely remove her from the beauty space, and Bree has vowed to not stop until Nina's platform is destroyed. Okay? I have text messages to prove all of this.
No one cares, Paulson. You're still stuck in your teenage year. No one cares, okay? Nothing can affect you unless you let it affect you. The power of the mind that you don't have one. So, Jesus, you're just rattling on like you're an ex. I got messages with liars, with people that are lying. And plus, Katie, like, you think that Gypsy is out to ruin you. She's forgotten about you. She doesn't care about you. You care about her because you really thought you were friends. I mean, you and Kristy were so close. You were sisters. That's how far you went to prove how close you were. So don't backpedal now. There's nowhere to go except that bile green wall.
Because they hate Nina. No, she can't do any of that. It's all, I'm not here to say that. So what they do is they intentionally give bad information to sources. Okay. So say Kristy's cousin, for instance. No, actually, I'll tell you a story. And this person passed away, so I can tell you this. One of Kristy's friends, her name was Dawn. She died, I think, in October. She was a source for Nina for quite a while. Okay. Dawn was Kristy's best friend from.
I cannot believe how thin your hair is. Like, there's just no body. This is like, is it even washed? And Katie pulling it back and tying it up is why you don't have a peak on your widows anymore. It's just, I don't know what happens when there's no mountain. You almost have a normal hairline, but it starts up top, and then it comes around. Yeah, that's the profile, but this is the front. Even a filter can't give you a hairline. What are you doing? And pulling it so tight. I just can't believe how thin it is. Oh, Katie, you should see my hair, my body. Since I've taken my antibiotics, my curls are back. everything. I got a bounce in my step, Katie, so that if I had long hair, it would like swing side to side like Jan. I'm sure yours does that, but you know, only one way. Because the wind doesn't blow in your house. Jesus, that hair. I can't get over it. I've got to get over it to move on.
This case, she and Kristy had been friends for 9 years, and they were having fights and not having fights, and sometimes we're getting along and other times we're not getting along. But what Dawn was doing...
5 times. 5 times she tied her like what? Katie, mine only goes around 2. 3 is too much. What are you? I'm just not happy. I would have thought that maybe a bun would do good. Okay, I've got to get over that fucking hair. That's all I can think about. I've got to go, because if I don't, I won't be able to listen to her.
Was Dawn was going to Nina and pretending like she wasn't on good terms with Kristy, okay? So she was going to Nina and telling her things about Kristy, making her think that what she was telling her was true. All the while, Dawn was going back to Kristy and telling her what she was doing. I know this because Dawn told me she was doing it before she died. Dawn reached out to me and tried to pull the same shit on me. She tried to pretend to me that she was on bad terms with Kristy. And before she died, she claimed she was going to be writing a book to expose the Blanchards completely.
That's a lie. Katie was probably used. Dawn, no, it's not Dawn, is it? It's Dawn, but it's coming up on the subtitles. It's Dawn. Katie touched her face twice then. The eye and the chin, well, mouth, chin region. Distracted now because I can't get the chin out of my face. Like, Katie, you're just so full of fucking shit.
The problem with Dawn was that she was Kristy's bulldog for the longest time. She was Bree before Bree existed, okay? And
no, you were. You were Bree. Like, you were before Bree, okay? You were batting for Gypsy and Kristy for 5 years. They lied to you and you believed everything. I've got a playlist down below. Go check it out. It is cringe fest. God, it really drives home what the reality is. And Katie is just a bullshitter.
And Kristy and this family have always had a Bree-like person, a Bree character. It was Dawn for a while. It was Fancy for a minute. Currently, it's Bree and Natasha. It was Natasha for a minute. If you're new to the story like Nina,
I'm sure Nina does more research than you. I'm sure Nina has more of a brain than you. No one cares who's being used behind the scenes and all this because, Katie, you didn't mention you. You were used for 5 years, and I'll keep saying it, and I've got videos that prove it. I mean, you're Kristy's sister. That's how close you were on the inner circle until they were done with you and moved on. But you can't move on because this is all you've got to make money. You need to pay Jennifer.
Only joined this case after Gypsy was released. She has no context of the 10 years of online trolling and how sophisticated they have become at getting bad information out to people to intentionally discredit them. Kristy, what she does is if you guys want more information, can you guys please give me some love? I've been noticing that I'm not getting a lot of diamonds or anything, and I want to be able to give stuff back to people, so let's go there.
Oh my God, you really are on here for money. That was just my theory. How much money is a Diamond. I'm going to Google it.
Let's set a goal here. Let's be fun. Let's be kind. Okay. Let's do chickens. All right. Thank you, Penosaurus. So some of the people that come into this case, they see her and they take everything at face value. They assume that what the Blanchards tell people is truthful. They assume that everything that's at surface level is a fact. They don't go in or dig anything. They don't try to verify. And the Blanchards have had 10 plus years to perfect their story about the crime, perfect their story about Gypsy, perfect their story about Dee Dee. They've had a lot of time, more time than the creators that are newly coming into this case. They are 3 steps ahead of everything that Nina could think that she's doing. And I've tried to tell Nina multiple times that they're baiting her intentionally. I sent her screenshots showing that they're doing this to her.
What makes you think she would listen to you? You're no one. You were used for 5 years. Like, every time I comment, that's all I'm going to say. Like, it's just absolutely ridiculous that now you're the expert, but it's only been 6 months, Katie, since they cut you off in the end of May this year. Yeah. And since then, you're just the expert. You didn't know for 5 years that they were lying to you and using you like everyone else that has used you. Clark Swanson, Melanie Wilking, whatever they say, you publish because you have a hate boner for the other people. I lost my train of thought. Fuck, she's so annoying.
She had a source named Dawn giving her bad information intentionally for Kristy for months. Now, sometimes she would get things correct, right? Because they don't want to make her look bad all the time. So she'll get little tiny details right. Like, she knew that she was going to have a girl, but let's be honest. Nina wasn't the first person that knew she was going to have a girl. She also wasn't the first person that knew that Gypsy was pregnant. I knew Gypsy was pregnant before Nina ever did. I knew Gypsy was pregnant the day after she tested positive for she took the pregnancy test. She got her pregnancy positive test, I think like May 22nd or 23rd, and I found out the next day.
You weren't one of the first that she called. That's a bit strange. But yeah, that was the week they cut you loose. So let's give Katie some news and then boom, just let her have nothing else. Wow, who cares, Katie? Like, you were used and anything you've got to say is, I've just got to let it play, don't I?
I said nothing. And that's how the Blanchards determine who they can trust. Okay, so this is what they do. By the time I was told, though, I had been in their camp for 5 years, they had no reason to believe that I was going to turn on them or reveal anything. They knew that I had known so much information about them and I'd never divulged it, okay? And so they had no reason to believe that I would share any of it. And if you don't want to be here, Millie, you can leave. I'm talking about what the Blanchards are doing to Nina. I'm not having an opinion about Nina. I'm telling you what they're doing to her. They did the same thing to Ryan Lee. Yep.
So it's fact. It's not just your opinion that they're doing this. It's just like, who cares about this shit? Like, it's just all teenage back and forth. Like, you have a platform, use it for what you want to. Like, don't talk about other creators and about how Kristy and that want to bring them down. I've got text messages to prove. Like, hooray. This is your business. But yeah, I just looked up diamonds aren't worth money on their own, but creators can accumulate diamonds and then swap, cash them in for money. And yeah. So that's that. But I think it also shows support, but I'm not sure. I didn't read it a lot because Katie wants diamonds. Marquise diamonds. That's how she pronounces it. Oh, and yeah, it's annoying me now that the video changed halfway through, but very appreciative of it.
They did the same thing to Fancy. They've done it to Natasha. They've done it to me, and they're now doing it to Nina. So every once in a while, she gets a crumb of information that's correct, okay? But they also have this way that they figure out who they can trust. And so what do? They feed information to certain people, and then they keep track of who they tell to what. So they might tell, say, Kristy's, let's just use two examples. She tells Kristy's cousin and Gypsy's friend, I don't even know, Christina, not Brie, just I'm making up people. So they tell Kristy's cousin that Gypsy and Ken have broken.
Katie, your brain is just so on point. She had to come up with a name for Kristy's cousin, so she got it Christina. Brilliant, really. With a sloshed mind, you can't think, you can only regurgitate.
Broken up. They tell Christina that Gypsy and Ken are totally fine, everything's great, whatever. But then they also tell Christina another lie. So they'll say, but she had a miscarriage, okay? They want to see who in that camp is going to leak to test who they can trust.
I remember, Katie, when Matt Bayer did this to you. Yes. He wanted to see if, you know, you vetted your sources or whether you researched the information that you got rather than just, you know, straight from hearing it to posting it. And so I think he told you that Teen Mum was going to be cancelled or that Amber was going to be fired. And boom, you made a video straight away. And then he was just sitting back going, yep, that's the kind of character Katie is. We knew all along. So, yeah, vomit and spew. That's all you do. When we rhyme, we're on the right track, even though it's only been 7 minutes.
They've been doing this for years. And so if, say, Kristy's cousin then contacts Nina, she says, oh my God, Nina, I have to tell you something. Oh my God, did you know that Ken and Gypsy broke up? Then Kristy can go back to her little spreadsheet of who she told to what to figure out who she can't trust. And then she kills two birds with one stone. She weeds out the snake of who she can't trust, right? She weeds out the snake, but then she also intentionally discredits Nina. And this is what they have been doing to creators for years.
Of course, you have to take a swig when I'm not even watching. If you weren't such a slurper, I wouldn't have known. What are you doing, Paulson? Are you drinking off? Oh. Are you drinking off camera so that people, you know, you can. Wine sounds different in a tumbler. It doesn't matter what you put it in. It sounds different to water because it's got a different density. And that's stainless steel. So you think people can't hear the difference? You can't, but I can. Oh, did I miss you playing? Remember last time she pretended to call Dr. Phil? Okay. Now I'm just like lost. Okay.
So they tell Kristy's cousin that Gypsy and Ken have broken up. They tell Christina that Gypsy and Ken are totally fine, everything's great, whatever. But then they also tell Christina another lie. So they'll say, but she had a miscarriage, okay? They want to see who in that camp is going to leak to test who they can trust. They've been doing this for years. And so if, say, Kristy's cousin then contacts Nina, she says, oh my God, Nina, I have to tell you something. Oh my God, did you know that Ken and Gypsy broke up?
God, your little finger's really long. They say that that's, millionaire status if it goes past that top line. Yours does. You have you don't need to tilt that phone.
Then Kristy can go back to her little spreadsheet of who she told to what to figure out who she can't trust. And then she kills two birds with one stone. She weeds out the snake of who she can't trust, right?
Why is snake in E.T. quote fingers? They're a snake, they're a snake. They're not E.T. quote fingers snake. Oh, oh my God, look at your T-Rex hands.
She weeds out the snake, but then she also intentionally discredits Nina. And this is what—
Does Katie know she's off center? Because like my thing being off center is not annoying me anymore. It's that she's off center.
what they have been doing to creators for years.
Slurpee time. Ah! Oh, wow. This is the big moment in your world, Katie. What? That's more head tilting than you do in normal position.
I don't know if she has a spreadsheet or not. I don't know. But I'm just like, however she figures out who she tells this information to, I will tell you for a fact, there were numerous times something would leak. Okay. So let's be real. When Nina leaked that Gypsy was pregnant, the day it happened, Gypsy was in a text message with me, her mom, or her stepmom, and Vicki Lewis. And she said, I just woke up to this. And it was Nina's video saying that Gypsy was pregnant. And she said, do I make a comment on it or do I just leave it alone? And the advice across the board was just leave it alone. Okay. We all just said, don't respond. Who cares? Because she was still in her first trimester. She was still very early. You know, you don't want to confirm something until you're at a point in your pregnancy where you generally are out of the high risk category of having a miscarriage. And
then why would they let you know the day after she found out she was pregnant? It doesn't make sense. And I remember like you going on about something about the pregnancy stick.
And it just, you can't, we were trying to tell her not to respond to everything. So we tell her not to respond. But then later that day, I got accused of leaking her pregnancy and I was grilled by Kristy. No, she doesn't know who the snake is because she's saying, okay, oh my God, people are taking her snake comments so literally. The snake could be 5 people. I said 1 person. Maybe she told 1 person that Ken and Gypsy broke up. Maybe she told 5 people. She needs to figure out which one of those people said that. And then that's the person she knows she can't trust. They intentionally give out false information.
So what happened? 5 years, you just took it all in, published it. Like you let like Katie, you're the reason that the Munchausen by proxy theory is so dominant. You've brought like you just want to, and now that you're, there's so much running through my head. Now that you cut off from Gypsy, you just want to talk about shit about them rather than adding some critical thinking to the information you have, what you found out, maybe drop the Munchausen stuff, but that's all you've got because you're an expert, because you're a munchy mum, because that's what you are, you know. You became what you covered, basically. I've got so many videos, Katie, of that prove that you're abusing your son. You might have struck me on, yes, you've been doing a little bit of strikey on TikTok. That's all right, Katie, because the videos that you strike, I just have to let TikTok know that's not me talking. And once they know that I'm sharing awareness, all those strikes get removed and I get back on my channel. So really, you're a waste of time. I'll probably say that and jinx myself like pink because she strikes my channel, well, twice this year, twice last year, taking me out of the algorithm. Katie, I didn't care. I just kept posting. Now all the videos are there and people will see. That you are the snake. And you haven't even shedded skin. Like, you're the same snake, the same skin. If you shedded skin, if you exfoliated, I don't know if we would have what we've got happening underneath the filter. Yes, Katie has filters. She doesn't look like a 12-year-old.
To discredit Nina. It could be 6 people they told. It could be 3 people. But they give fake info out. And let me tell you why they do this. Kristy is very sensitive to when Gypsy gets bad press. She can't handle it. Neither can Gypsy. They want to keep everything in the media. And this is a tactic that's actually been used by most PR companies. Jim Bob Duggar used this. PR Crisis will do this. But when bad press happens, what you do to like cycle out that bad press or that get ahead of a story is to saturate the market with another story that's completely unrelated that will distract everyone from the truth of whatever the story is that you don't want to get out there. Okay. So what happened the day before? Jim Bob Duggar would do this all the time. His strategy was if Josh had something bad coming out, he would start putting out, oh, look, Jana. Oh, look, what's Jana doing? Or look, oh my God, Justin's engaged or whatever. Like he's always playing diversion, right? Don't look over here, you know? And this is like seriously what a lot of PR companies do. And they've learned how to do it.
God, so now you know about PR companies. I mean, that whole thing with Gypsy's PR, you'd have to be a fucking moron to not know that that is a standard thing for social media. I'm sure Miranda and B-Dash also have something similar. You're just so stupid. This is a PR move. Oh my gosh. Every time you get backlash, I'm a medically fragile. No, you are. You are medically fragile. I have a medically fragile son. You know, I need money for my lawyer, but I'm being sued because blah, 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 because I got no crystal ball. And all the money's going to the lawyer. Maybe your cry fest. There's been heaps, but yeah, every time you use him. So isn't that a little bit of a diversion? I think so. Even remember when you were getting called out about questioning SL and then like you didn't believe her, and then to throw off all the backlash you got about not believing a child, you come out with your ass story, and the thumbnail was "Believe Me." So, Pity Party Central is your name.
This. And so what happened the day before Nina said they broke up? Does anyone remember? Does anyone remember what happened the day before? The day before. She went off social media. Okay. Right. She said she had cyberbullies and she went off social media. Okay. She is not off social media because of Ryan. She's not off social media because of the backlash around Ryan. That's not why she's off social media. She has had worse backlash, way worse. She's off social media because of parole. Okay. Parole has stipulations for her that include she has to have a job. Okay. And because Gypsy is choosing her job to be writing a book and being on Lifetime, Gypsy has contractual obligations for the book, and she has contractual obligations to post for Lifetime. She has contractual obligations to do interviews and publicity for the book and for the show. So because that's her work, parole can't say no because that's what they've approved for her job.
Yeah, so without ET quote fingers, that's her job. There's no pretending. She's making more money than you, Katie. She's making so much money and she has to dress nice and, you know, her image has to be matching what she's putting out there, which was why they cut you loose because you're a liability because of this, because you don't think anyway. All you do is regurgitate. Fuck, I feel like that's what I'm doing. regurgitating. Well, no. My thoughts are lovely, passing through my brain.
Okay. So she can be online only for work. Personal stuff can't be posted. And yes, now she's using Bree. Gypsy, if you're not familiar with, is a narcissist. She's probably I would think she's probably a malignant narcissist or a sociopathic narcissist, okay?
You do not have the qualifications with a degree in Spanish to be calling anyone a narcissist. On the other hand, I do. Yes, I'm in your other hand, Katie. I've got a degree in psychology. I've studied narcissists in a textbook. You're my first, it took me so long to get my head around you because I'm a empath. So I feel my way through the world. And you manipulate your way through the world. Your whole life is a performance. Like you talk, like your words never match your behavior. You always lie. You've got no self-awareness. And because you're so desperate to be needed by your stranger friends, you share way too much information. And all of that you share is proof that I've used with my knowledge and what you've shared, put them into videos that prove you are abusing your son with the feeding tube, with the way that you're raising him, neglect in those first early years. These are important things to talk about. I'm not sitting here going, guess who messaged this person? And oh my God, that is below me. I'm 42. I'm not 18, 20. And you think your audience, well, they are. Your audience, if they're giving you diamonds, they are on the same landing. Yeah, they're on the same landing as you. I don't know. Oh God. Look at her. Katie's the narcissist. She projects her own behavior, her own actions onto other people. She's got no self-awareness, so she has no idea what she's doing. And so whenever she's telling us about what Kristy does or what Gypsy does, that's Katie telling us what she does. So start listening to her in that frame of mind and you'll know everything. She lets us know how she manipulated doctors, how she lied to her son. It's all there. I'll put the links down below and also in the pinned comment. Make sure you check them out. Oh, Alberta and Stella, how you guys going? Yes. The lies never end. They just go on and on, my friend. Yes. Like the lamb chop song. But I feel like, in monotone. Imagine if the lamb chop song. Do Americans know about lamb chops? What a fucking TV show. A sock that was a lamb. No, I can't describe it. It's I'm gonna write it down. Is it still on? It would be on YouTube. Guess what I found when I was unwell? I know, just quick side story. Prime Video have the Mysterious Cities of Gold. No, Mysterious City of Gold. I don't know if it's city or cities. I should know. Best cartoon ever.
Okay. And when they can't use their own voice, they use flying monkeys.
So just remember, this is Katie telling us what she does.
She's more than grandiose because she's very vindictive. She's malignant. And I think malignant narcissists are classified as sociopathic and narcissistic together because she's very vindictive. She gets very angry. She has a really bad temper. And she loves to create chaos. And so they don't want you talking about the reason why she is sadistic, I believe. I have personally watched the way that she plays games with both Ken and with Ryan. So they want you guys to talk about the stuff that doesn't matter, okay? They want you to talk about the stupid shit that people talk about when we talk about celebrities.
This is the stupid stuff. No one's talking about this because it brings there's no purpose. Unless you're a vindictive bitch, you know, like you are. You're out to smear their name. God, we've seen the same behavior over and over again. This is what you do. Katie, you think there's not videos out there that show that you were loyal for 5 years because you can't think for yourself or didn't want to believe your own viewers who were letting you know that you were being lied to and used? Not Katie Joy. She vets her sources. She doesn't even know how to vet sources. They're just words. If she cared about her writing, she would go and do a writing course and want to improve it, perfect it. She's got worse. If she cared about her channel and, you know, what the viewers want, she'd paint her fucking walls. But we've still got bile green walls 5 years later. They're a different shade, but still the same color. And it's washing her out. You know, let's just paint the wall with green screen paint. I don't know what it's called, but I think that's the best option. And then you can choose. What would you choose, Katie? Oh God, it would be bad. You would choose you choose a room with bile green walls.
Okay. They want you to say like, oh, what's her baby bump? What's going on with her pregnancy? Oh my gosh, did Ken and Gypsy break up? Oh my God, is Ken gay? Like all of that is just stuff that they want you to talk about that's completely irrelevant. And it also dilutes who she is, okay? So the more stories that get out there, right, that are not about her crime, the more the public will forget. That's what the goal is here. They are hoping that the public will forget about her crime.
And you're hoping that the public will forget about the past 5 years when you were their bulldog.
You're asking me a question about if I think the paternity test is real or not, you're completely missing the point of this entire live. They want you to talk about that paternity test because who the fuck cares? In the grand scheme of shit, does it matter who the dad is? In the grand scheme of shit, does it matter if she has a boyfriend?
Okay, before you say in the grand scheme of shit one more time, didn't you just say that everything they say is a lie? So the paternity test could be made up. I don't think she's even fucking pregnant. And I've been saying that since day dot, when she announced the pregnancy and then also when she did the little let's listen to the heartbeat because she's an expert. Because it's a performance. She's exactly like you, but smarter. Even though she was a heroin addict and addicted to opioids. No, what is it? The pills. Yeah, Katie, still smarter than you.
Does it matter who her baby daddy is? In the grand scheme of all of this, does it matter if Ken is gay? Does it matter if Gypsy's gay? Does it matter if Ken cheats? No, not at all. But that's what they want you to talk about because they want you to dilute all of the stories about the crime. And because the public has a very short attention span, and I say this because think of all of the celebrities that have done really awful things, right? They commit really bad crimes, like Chris Brown. Think about it. Did anyone see the photograph?
Yes, we all saw the photograph of Rihanna. We don't need to bring that up. No one has forgotten what he did to Rihanna, and his music career has suffered. He's not ever going to be the level that he was aiming for. He's always going to be subpar because he is a DV abuser. And Katie, do you think, well, Katie, you have short-term memory loss from your substance abuse. Every day you wake up and it's a brand new day. What you did before what you did the day before, a raise. You have no guilt, no shame. You get to move on. You get to continue your alcoholism, which has obviously been questioned about why you drink so much in your drinking chair, but maybe that's why you're not in your drinking chair tonight. Did someone tell you that that's what it's called, your drinking chair? When was the last time you cleaned that? We haven't seen a cleaning couch video since 2020. Throw myself off there. Mind has gone straight to the kitchen sink. I was going to say something. Yeah, Katie's short-term memory loss. Like, she doesn't remember shit. That's why with Sister Wives, she's posting the same stuff over and over, stuff that she posted months ago, but that's brand new for Katie. And people are catching on. And, so all this information has already been rehashed on her Instagram. Now she's putting on here. Like, she cares too much. She wants everyone to believe her narrative, which is this bullshit trying to cover up that she was a bulldog for them for 5 years. Just, God, put it on repeat. 5 years, 5 years. I might just send you an audio recording of me saying 5 years. That is longer than Brie, Dawn. I don't think even Dawn was, because I think you just viewed her as that, or you needed more people to fill in, because who would they have been using for the past 5 years? Katie Joy from Without a Crystal Ball. Kristy contacted Katie. I've got videos. It's in the Without a Crystal Ball versus Gypsy playlist that I'll link below, where couldn't just throw myself off. Brain fart central. I know I was really going to deliver then.
Half of Rihanna, right? And then forever he was canceled. And then suddenly he wasn't canceled anymore because the public has a short memory. Because soon that person does something that somehow redeems them and makes people forget. And that's what they're counting on you to do, is to spread their bullshit so that you forget, why is she famous to begin with?
She's not famous. She's infamous. Get it fucking right. Like, this is a that we are talking about. She has the popularity because she continued to have social media presence even when she was in prison. She had someone controlling, was it Dawn? I think, because that name does ring a bell. I think she might have been running Gypsy's social media. It's the same with Nicholas John. He has his own, his dad runs the YouTube channel, and then they make stuff and it goes past him and he gets to okay it, and and he posts as well. So I think she had a social media following before you even had one. Have you hit 400K yet, Katie? It's taking a while, isn't it? How good is Sloan doing? How good is Emily D. Baker doing? All these channels that you had an issue with, even LB, soon will overtake you. Flying colors. I can't say it. I need to just press. Oh, Ellen. Elon is the new Ellen. He's the Ellen we always wanted.
If we saturate the market with crappy stories, no one's going to remember what she did. So I have told this to Nina in emails, and I've said this in live streams. She is getting distracted by irrelevant stories that don't matter. She is being told irrelevant tea that doesn't matter, so that's the story about Gypsy, not her crimes, or not that she's in trouble with parole, or that she's been reported to parole for a lot of different issues in the last couple months.
And Katie was the one that reported her. 100%. That's how she rolls. She reported Todd Chrisley to I'll have to remember, but I'll link the clip down below.
I don't think it's about I don't know where Nina's at right now, but I will say that
you're holding on to that ear because there's so many lies spewing out all of the holes. Oh, like when you shit, it comes out. Katie doesn't know what hole, so I'm just making her even more confused. Because Katie thinks that you can't get a UTI from sex because it's a completely different hole. I'll link that video down below as well. Oh! I love it. You know, I really do love it. Like, it gives us the break we've always needed. Like, the visuals at times are too in your face. And I miss Katie getting up to, you know, let the dogs out or go yell at V. So that is a good little, and she's back. Okay, Katie, is it the filter that gives her a straight, okay. Let's carry on.
I don't know where Nina's at right now, but I will say that she's using Brie as a source right
I can't believe the ear and the finger. Just there's so much grossness happening there.
now. There was like 5 of these, but they all were like within the span of like 2 years. And it was during the time that he wasn't paying her child support. And she paid it all back. She never got any jail time for it. They were like satisfied. They just said, you need to make this whole. She made them whole and it was fine. Okay. Guess who wasn't charged with a felony? Dee Dee. Guess who was charged with a felony? Rod.
Dee Dee like died, man. She was never even, you know, Munchausen by proxy, which you threw around for 5 years. Fuck, I've got to stop saying 5 years. It's fried into my brain. It should be in your brain, Katie. Rod's, who cares, man? This is what you care about. Tit for fucking tat. Maybe tit for tit, because we see through you and we can call you out and really, you know, put the truth on the table. Because there's nothing, the only thing you've got on your table is wine in your tumbler, sippy, sippy cup for life.
Do you know why Dee Dee said that he was dangerous? Rod was arrested in 1998 for felony second-degree assault. If you had a kid with a man that was facing second-degree felony assault,
you've emasculated your husband. You married your husband because he was enabling you to continue your substance abuse, because that's the only thing you guys have in common, which is so fucking sad. And then when he wants to get sober, suddenly not interested in getting it on with you anymore. Oh my God, you're a narcissist who has emasculated your husband, so he doesn't even have the balls to stand up to you when you're abusing your son. And he's blind to it as well, blind to the infection on your face, blindly enabling you to burn your business down, to have defamation lawsuit after defamation lawsuit, because you don't learn, because you've done nothing wrong, so then you don't need to change, which is, you know, the carousel from hell. Round and around we go. It's the same thing, different day. This is all you've ever brought to the table, Katie. Give me something with substance. And no, not more shit. Okay, not more shit. I don't care if you're shit. No, Katie, I'm not gonna argue with you about your consistency because there is none. Is the word? No, that's not the right word. Insert the right word, Katie.
1998, 1999, took a plea deal. The case was pled out in 2000.
A 24-year, almost 25 years ago, and you're still harping on about it. Where were you 25 years ago? Probably in the same drinking chair. Katie, you could be going to prison, you know? So your future does not look good. 7M are going to win. You're going to be sued by Netflix. Like, once 7M win, that opens up the floor for everyone else to sue you. No one's suing you at the moment because the outcome of that, you know, determines whether the rest of them can follow. It determines on what they will sue you with. Hasn't Jennifer filled you in? I'm sure she has, but you think you've won because that's what you told everyone, even though your deposition questions, no, is that the right word? What you asked Miranda and B-Dash and Robert Shinn when they were on the stand during your deposing. Insert the correct word. I'm not a lawyer, obviously. Katie, should I just go write it on a post-it and then stick it on me and then I'll be a lawyer because that's what you do? Label gun. Yeah. Ask them the shit-ass questions, like asking if is it Shekinah? Oh, this is how far we are. Shekinah Church, Shekinah is a cult, but she said that 7M is a cult. Shekinah is not even in the court. It's not even included in her lawsuit because she doesn't even understand what's going on. Like, Katie's lost. Oh, I'm just going to end there. Katie's lost, full stop.
So do you think there's some truth to the fact that Dad was violent? Do you think there's some truth to the fact that, I don't know about with Kristy, all I know is that I don't know who the victim is. I can't, like, I don't have the court records. I just have like the docket and the minutes, okay? He was charged in 98. He got married to Kristy in 99 in the middle of this, which almost makes me feel like she could have been involved, but I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you spoke about this in the live that we covered 2 weeks ago, which was November 24. So 4 days, you're still talking about the same shit. You just don't have fancy to tell you that you're wrong.
It's just weird to get married when you're in the middle of a criminal case. They got married in the middle of the criminal case and they've been together for years. And then
your husband went bankrupt. So you married your husband, even though he's bankrupt, and you're like, that's okay, I'll take care of you. My daddy has a checkbook. I don't know, Katie, how it worked, but somehow he married you and he was crying, you know? You're like, he saw me and he cried. No, he's crying because he's so fucking grateful that he doesn't have to be alone. And you said you'd give him a son. 2 alcoholics should never have had a child.
suddenly gets a plea deal and he gets simple battery. Okay. But he was initially facing a second-degree felony. He was, at the time he was arrested, a second-degree battery is a felony. It involves intentional causing of serious bodily injury to another person, and it's a sentence of up to 8 years in prison.
Okay, but it ended with a plea deal. So the case didn't go anywhere. You know, Katie, this is what's a good cliche? No, something about flogging a horse. I don't know, but you would know.
He was, when Gypsy was 7 years old, arrested and facing 8 years in prison. Is there a reason that maybe Dee Dee didn't want them to know where she lived? Do you think she had legitimate reasons to believe that he might be violent? And he got a plea deal and he got a misdemeanor, simple battery. But at the same time that's going on, he was also taken to court for criminal non-support. They wanted him to serve like 20 days in jail. He was held in contempt multiple times for not paying child support. And during the time he was not paying child, Dee Dee didn't have any criminal cases in Missouri. So how is it that Dee Dee, for the span of like a couple of years, when he's not paying child support, has some bad checks written, right? Goes to Missouri, they have no charges against her there. She's completely clear, nothing. The only time she was getting in trouble in the shoplifting was because he wasn't paying child support.
I'm tuning out because I've heard this all before, like Katie. You know what would be, I was just thinking what would be good, like TikTok thing for people to, you know, hair with a fringe. Oh my God, imagine throwing that up, different hairstyles with a fringe for Katie. She will say goodbye to filters. If she had a fringe, she wouldn't need to use filter, although how low can it come? Like, this is what I'm doing. I'm not even focusing. I'm thinking of stuff that I want to throw at you. I just found also, sorry, chat, I've been on a mission to find this short. I'm just going to play it now and then we can come back. So this is Katie in December, but this was Katie in June. June. You should have been caught. July and August. Okay. Oh God. Okay. It's really something.
You should just get used to this. Katie at Without a Crystal Ball was telling the truth and was accurate and reported correctly when it came to another individual that has been taking storm on social media and spreading a lot of misinformation about a certain woman that was released from prison after serving 8.5 years. Now, if you are familiar with Gypsy Rose Blanchard, you know that when she was released from prison, she was given a lot of attention and she got a lot of support from people. People were very much on her side and were like very much rooting for her. And then quickly, within the span of a couple months, people started turning on her. And a lot of those people were referring to a creator that went by the Good Wives Network. And the Good Wives Network was run by a woman named Fancy Maselli, okay? And Fancy, you should just get used to this. Katie at Without a Crystal Ball was telling the truth and was. How is it that Dee Dee, for the span of like a couple of years, when he's not paying child support, has some badges, completely clear, nothing. The only time she was getting in trouble in the shoplifting was because he wasn't paying.
Yeah, so you should just get used to this. Katie Joy was right. Katie, that's the kind of videos that are in, the Without a Crystal Ball and Gypsy playlist. I'll link it below. Really, that's all really. That's all I've got to say.
So they always say that people with an agenda will smear the victim. Who has a lot of incentive to smear Dee Dee? Rod, right? He knows. Does Rod ever cop to what he did? Have you ever one time heard Rod Cop to say, I wasn't paying child?
He was like kept away. Dee Dee isolated Gypsy from the rest of the family so that she could continue to abuse Gypsy. That's what you've done to your son, Katie. You've isolated him from, you've cut off your mum and dad, who you said are the narcissists, but you're the narcissist. Your family have cut themselves off from you because they have grandkids to protect. They have a family to protect. You've isolated your son and you've continued the abuse because you wrote about it. Your family and your friends were questioning your parenting choices because they figured out what I figured out, that everything you do for your son is not for your son. You don't care what his needs are. You are only doing what's best for Katie. It's always been that way because you suffer from substance abuse. So that has rewired your brain so that nothing else matters, not even your son. What is prioritized is continuing your substance abuse, continuing your online addiction to drama, continuing your Adderall abuse. Well, that's, continuing to harm your son, continuing to neglect an MRSA infection that she's got on her eyebrow. That's why she's wearing a filter. She's had it since 2020. I have videos. I'll link them below. Journey of the staffs of our life. No, just one. But she lays next to her son every single night. Her son has panhypopituitarism. His body doesn't make the hormones in his body that, are needed because, in my opinion, he has fetal alcohol syndrome. Because Katie was selfish. Or the pituitary gland forms in that first 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks. That's when all the damage was done. Plus, mix in Toad's alcoholic sperm. Like, if he should not have had a son, I've got to go through that, but it's going to be, I don't know how to make a video just on Toad's sperm. Be quite weird, wouldn't it? But it's part of the equation. She's abusing her child and she's deciding to choose this over her son's life. She lays down next to every night, forcing her 12-year-old to sleep in her bed. Because she's a narcissist, she needs to control. Because the husband, Toad takes care of him during the day. But Toad, needs to be punished at night and reminded that Katie's in control. And in the bedroom, there's so many things going on in the bedroom that are keeping her son sick because she needs him to be dependent on her. Without, if her son ever figures out that he doesn't need the feeding tube and he's not as sick as she makes out because she exaggerates because she competes with special needs mums. So her son has to be the worst. He's not medically fragile. He's medically complex. But go on, Katie. Let's talk about Rod. You are an abuser, and your husband abuses your son too. Verbally, mentally, maybe not physically, but who knows?
Sport. Have you ever heard him say that? Have you ever heard him say, I was arrested for battery and was facing 8 years in prison? No. But what does he do? What does he talk about? Dee Dee's petty misdemeanors for passing a bad check for $38. And he uses that as this, she's a criminal mastermind. I don't know. Maybe she was just trying to feed her fucking kid. Dee Dee kept in touch.
Maybe she was just trying to feed her fucking kid. Remember, she's not talking about Dee Dee. She's talking about herself. You fucking bitch. The feeding tube does not benefit V. I have gastroparesis. I have to do a roundup video on this, but there is a playlist of like my journey into looking into the feeding tube because I have gastroparesis. Like I was born prem. I have a lot of the same, not pituitary gland stuff, but like I have spina bifida, which is where my gastroparesis stems from. And wasn't until I started talking about that. Now Katie brings up spina bifida. She never brought it up before because she doesn't know, because she doesn't care, because he's not her priority. Her priority is her substance abuse, which means she doesn't have patience. She doesn't have time. She doesn't have good temperament. She doesn't care about her child. So she's not going to sit there waiting for a prem child to eat. We take forever, but, you know, if you love and care something, you will sit there for as long as it takes for your child to eat. Katie couldn't. She was never a hands-on mum either, and she just fed her son what she was eating. She has admitted to not knowing which food was age appropriate. So in my opinion, all the photos and everything that she shared that I've put in my videos show that she's feeding her son choking food. She made him fear food. And Katie speaks about Dee Dee. I'm doing ET quote fingers because Dee Dee is Katie. She talks about Dee Dee convincing Gypsy that she was more sick than what she was to remain dependent so that Katie could get all these things. All she needed to do was convince V that he had pain, that he couldn't eat because of this, couldn't do this because of that. And then V would relay that to the doctors. It's not what V was feeling and what he was going through. It's what Katie had told him to say. And it's disgusting because he has been tube fed since he was 3.5 and he's 12 now. Doctors were also resistant because he was meant to be in feeding therapy. I went to feeding therapy. Like I had to learn how to use my tongue and like, I can't remember else, but like all of that, having the feeding tube, it would just like erase all the therapy, especially when you're that young. Like she's only made gastroparesis worse because gastroparesis is basically a paralyzed digestive system. So whatever you eat, like if you can't process that, like if it's not easily processable, it just sits in your stomach and it becomes toxic. But yeah, it takes forever, like delayed emptying of the stomach. It takes forever for food to digest. So I can't even eat like a full meal. I just eat like tiny little meals throughout the day. And Katie gives her son one whole meal 3 times a day. Over like fills his stomach, makes his lips turn blue. She writes about it. She enjoys venting him. She enjoys playing God, being the one to be able to like relieve what he's going through. They yell at him and he's got adrenal insufficiency, which means he doesn't make cortisone or cortisol, whichever one, which is the hormone that lowers your stress levels. So he doesn't have that. They have to administer it via like an injection. So they make him have an adrenal crisis, but then they're also the ones that can relieve that. And that is, Katie's desensitized to child abuse, to torture. She's admitted this. I'll link it below. She also doesn't recognize pain in her son's face. The amount of pictures she's posted, I'm sure you're sick of me saying this, but you know, the amount of pictures she's posted, and her son is in pain, and then the fucking caption is like, "Oh, happy day." Fuck off, bitch. Because she will share anything and everything. She needs the fucking attention. Well, Katie, you've got it. I can't wait for the people you're talking to dig a little further into the claims made about you. Because your word, who can take your word for it? 5 years. You were lied to and had no idea. Like, Christy used you because you're a fool, because you're a fucking idiot. Let's be frank, Katie. That's why they chose you. That's why Clark Swanson chose you. He had reached out to other YouTubers, but they were on to him. They were like, I'm not going to spew. You're not going to use me as a mouthpiece. But Katie, you were like, yes, I hate Tati enough. Give me everything you've got. I broke the story. Yeah, you fucking broke the story. You fucking bitch. You're such a loser. I really cannot believe how pathetic you are. So lose the filter and let's get some fucking reality in here. Because Katie, I can't take this anymore. And there's a part 2. Yes, this is just part 1. Sorry, I'm a snail and it takes forever, but... And this is November 28, if you've just joined. Yes, we're behind the 8 ball. Katie, put that in your cliche book.
Talk about Dee Dee's petty misdemeanors for passing a bad check for $38. And he uses that as this, like, she's a criminal mastermind. I don't know. Maybe she was just trying to feed her fucking kid. Dee Dee kept in touch with them. And she never held them without it. But if you talk to Christy, Dee Dee wasn't lying. When Gypsy was young, he was 17 when she was born, and he fathered. But if you talk to Christy, Dee Dee wasn't lying. When Gypsy was young, he was 17 when she was born, and
You can't recognize abuse against males. How long, like, you dragged Rod for not paying child support. You can't realize that Dee Dee was in control, and now you're saying he was 17. Why couldn't you put the pieces together at the beginning and realize that Dee Dee most likely groomed him and that he doesn't have the maturity, like, his brain is not fully developed at 17. Males not until like 25 or something. Let me Google that to like make sure. But it is later than female brains. But that's, you know, that's on them. Katie, look at you. Pull that ear. Pull it down. What happens when you pull it down?
he fathered several children. He fathered a girl named Nicolette while he was married to Dee Dee. So she has a half sister that's like 6 months younger than her, named Nicolette. So he cheated on her and fathered a baby. He had a drug problem. He had a drinking problem. He had unstable employment, and he was known to get into fights and be violent. So was Dee Dee wrong to try to protect her problem? He had unstable employment. Half sister that's like 6 months younger than her, named Nicolette. So he cheated on her and fathered a baby. He had a drug problem.
She over nodded. She like nodded 3 times. Did you nod for yourself?
He had a drinking problem.
You have a drinking problem. Whenever you know I'm listening. Whenever you say something that's, you know, right, you look straight down the barrel because you know where to look. Look at you in all your royal highness there, sitting in your funeral waiting room. I almost said drinking chair, but this is also your drinking chair. Have you cleaned this chair? Have you cleaned anything at all? No. Just droopy.
He had unstable employment and he was known to get into fights and be violent. So was Dee Dee...
You got fired from your job for being hungover. You like to say you were in the corporate world, you gave up a big paycheck. You like to say 90K a year, but reality 55K. Because I looked it up, because you didn't work in the corporate world. You worked in a call center selling diplomas for that shitty Capella University, you know, which came out their diplomas weren't even, like, you were selling also like psychology degrees, saying that they were all good in that. Like, people did those degrees 4 years and they didn't mean shit. They didn't have the, like, what is it? The psychology. Oh man, it's been over 24 years since I studied it. You know what I mean, Katie? The association. No, you wouldn't know what I mean, because you are labeled queen. What have you got under your belt? Spanish degree and that's it? And still you can't say Hilaria?
Wrong to try to protect her daughter from that instability? I don't think so. But Christy and Rod want you to think that she was being a vindictive person trying to withhold him, but he wasn't making any...
Oh my God, no, that's not true. Whoever's saying that is just spreading bullshit lies that the Paulsons gave up a child after V. No, they were looking into adopting. Yeah, that's the scary thought. Because Katie couldn't go through pregnancy again. It was too hard on her body. No, she just wants to drink.
effort. And I'm sorry, incompetence and ignorance and failing doesn't excuse criminal non-support for years. Dee Dee is really a victim in this case.
Duh. I mean, who's... I'm sure the one that's not alive is the victim. The train of thought. Yes, okay, there's so much, and my brain is checking out. So I've got to, I don't know, I've got to go for a walk, come back, and you'll still be yapping about this. Can I be guaranteed?
Did she make bad mistakes as a mom? Hell yeah. Was she controlling? Yes. Did she come up with cons to survive?
Like, I was just about to get up, but she's reaching for the drink to wash back her lies, because this is her. Did she make bad choices as a mum? Yes. Did she ever Google to see age-appropriate foods? No, because she knew more than everyone and was never going to ask for help, because that would be admitting that she knows nothing.
100%. Was the thing with Gypsy and the medical stuff a con so they could survive? 100%. Nick has spoken the truth. Nick is not lying. I don't think you guys, I think you have expectations about Nick that are just not, they're unreal.
Well, you'd have a big part to play in that, because you were anti-Nick for, what, 5 years? Even when Fancy was talking to you were like, no, my son's autistic and he can be manipulated into committing. Yeah, probably, because he's being groomed while he's online, because you're screen feeding parenting, like screen time. Her son has a screen addiction. They've been screen feeding him ever since he could sit up and hold the phone. So even when Katie's like, my son won't eat, no, he was eating. He's consuming his addiction. His brain developed with a screen addiction. Think about that. He gets more stimuli from his iPad than he does his parents. So he's going to be seeking out people online that give him what he needs. Love, encouragement, all that. and it's going to be someone who's going to groom him, because that's who Katie has raised. Someone capable of being manipulated. What a fucking joke. Well, no, not a joke, a fucking horror story.
Realistic. Yes, he was. Nick has admitted that he knew right from wrong. Okay. Nick has admitted that he knew that he could just escape with her. He wanted to kill. Okay.
That's not true. That's not true. And what Katie lacks is emotional intelligence. That's her biggest fucking downfall, because she doesn't understand. Even if he wasn't autistic, he was in love. We've done crazy shit. Like, love makes you do fucking crazy shit. You do irrational shit. You don't think it through. You act on impulse. He was protecting Gypsy. He didn't know that she was lying to him. Katie, your son doesn't know you are lying to him. Your son will find out. Your son is going to resent you. Your son is going to have a lot of hatred towards you for taking away his life, his childhood, isolating him, making him be on a feeding tube that he doesn't need, and still feeding him foods that affect his gut.
That's what he wanted to do. It was a fantasy that he had. He is a dangerous person.
It was not his fantasy. It was Ruby's. Do you not know anything about the case? No, you don't, because still, even after being cut loose, you still have not gone below surface level, because you don't care. You just want to tear away.
Did she manipulate him? Yes. But he knew right from wrong. And he told police he knew right from wrong. There was not a third party involved. None of that helps the case. No, there was no one there in a raincoat. You guys, like, please. Yeah, she just stroked a fire of a guy that wanted to do something by making him motivated to do it. No, David Blanchard was not involved. You know,
she just striked a fire. Are you the coldest fucking bitch? There's no understanding at all, because Katie's never been in, probably, yeah, you know, she's never given up control. Oh, I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
You know what? I want to say something about this David Blanchard thing, and then I really got to go, okay? I'm turning off comments again, but I got to say this. It is so disrespectful to try to claim an innocent man was part of a schmurder. Could you imagine if you were a witness and a victim because you're being defrauded, and then you have a whole internet group saying that you murdered someone? Have you ever heard of defamation? That's actually defamation. You're trying to plant David in there when there's zero evidence. Zero.
It's actually online discussion. People are allowed to have an opinion. No one is stating it as fact on a platform, saying they're a journalist.
This case was fully investigated outside of like the fraud stuff, which they never got to because she took a plea deal. But the crime scene and like who was involved and all of their phones, all of their electronics, the entire forensics, there was no third party. This was Gypsy and Nick. That's it. David Blanchard was
I beg to differ. I really don't think Nick was in control of his actions.
Neighbor that was worried about Dee Dee, who was his friend. To try to put him in place in the murder is just so disrespectful. You're accusing someone that literally helped investigators. He gave them interviews. He did this. He didn't have to help. You know that, right? Some people that are neighbors and friends, they choose to not cooperate because they don't want to be involved. But he wanted to help get justice for Dee Dee. And the internet trying to put him in the murder is so disgusting. It's just so awful. Like, just leave him alone. Don't put him into a crime he didn't commit. Do you know that those kind of rumors can damage someone's reputation?
Well, what are you saying about Rod? Like, oh my God, you can't have it one way and then expect it to be the other way whenever you want it. You are defaming Rod by questioning who he assaulted. Like, what the fuck?
And that's a serious allegation. Don't throw.
And let's not forget that you accused Robert Shinn of hate trafficking. Well, I said the wrong word, but human trafficking and a whole lot more of abusing. Like, it just, oh, the shit you are in, and you're still throwing stones.
Throw out people's names when there's no evidence to support it. When it comes,
I'm sorry, guys. You literally wiped drool from your mouth as you said something about dropping names. That's all you do. You've only had self-awareness and could pick up on what your body does, because your body language tells us the truth that your mouth is not telling us.
you know that, right? Some people that are neighbors and friends, they choose to not cooperate because they don't want to be involved. But he wanted to help get justice for Dee Dee. And the internet trying to put him in the murder is so disgusting. It's just so awful. Like, just leave him alone. Don't put him in.
How old was he? Like, is this Gypsy's boyfriend? Is this the one that she went to meet? Like, but she wasn't as young as she was told. But still, it's like she was meeting up with grown men when she was young. They're not as innocent as, you know, the players. All the players in this are not as innocent. It's not black and white, Katie. So tearing down a conspiracy theory or just another theory, another discussion, you know, because that's what it should be. Shouldn't just be this one-track narrative that you want it to be. Because what have you been pushing for the past 5 years? Munchausen by proxy. Dee Dee was the abuser. Poor little Gypsy. I mean, she's been through so much. And you know, because your son's on a feeding tube.
Into a crime he didn't commit. Do you know that those kind of rumors can damage someone's reputation? And that's a serious allegation. Don't throw out people's names when there's no evidence to support it when it comes to these types of crimes. Okay, I gotta go, you guys. I'm just a little heated about that because as far as I know, David's a decent human being, okay? He's not this evil, vindictive man. And Kim and David cared about them greatly. But I'll tell you the secrets. No one from that neighborhood wants anything to do with Gypsy. Do you know why? Because they don't buy her bullshit. Because she lied to them. Because she knew she could walk and she was sneaking out and she was hooking up with guys and having sex. She had a bus pass. She was meeting.
Remember, Katie's talking about herself, but just not in this, but all the neighbors in Katie's neighborhood hate her because she lies about them. Makes them seem, you know, the bad, but she's the one that won't fucking get a fence. Like, her dogs jump the fence and go into other people's yards. Everyone around them, all their neighbors have these tall fences. Katie keeps it open. Little, you know, fences you can just step over because they want to be on show. They want everyone to watch what they're doing, even when they're not doing anything except stepping in shit. I got no words.
Guys on Facebook groups, like, they were as much deceived by Dee Dee as they were by Gypsy, and they were defrauded by her. Nobody from that life wants shit to do with Gypsy, and most of the people in Cutoff in Louisiana want nothing to do with her. Most of her family wants nothing to do with her, and that's the shit they don't want you to talk about. Bye, guys.
And reality is Katie's family want nothing to do with her. They are the ones that cut her off because she's the narcissist spreading lies about them. Her poor mum has dementia and she's lying her ass off about her mum and her dad. But Jesus God, when you've got a narcissist in the family, it's the best. The only thing you can do is go no contact. I know, because I have one. Thank God. I'm thinking, should we end it here? Because and then we can just watch the rest of that and part 2. I know, and I've got to figure out how to not make these so long because it's torturous for me, all of us. But maybe should I watch part 2 and then just do timestamps where I want to talk about importing stuff, or do you guys want me to just continue to play it? I almost feel like if I do timestamps and then react, like, I might miss something that I don't find important, but then on second listening, it's more important. Because sometimes I butt in and I'm commenting, about her hair because I'm not even listening to what she's saying. Then when I play it back, I'm like, holy shit, she said something really important. And I'm just like, her hair is thinner than a tail of a horse. I'm still fucking hung up on the hair. Cactus crew, I'm going to come over now and give you the time you deserve. Because most of that live, I was looking for stupid short. Like, if only I titled things better, I'd be able to find things easier. But no, I'm not a titled person. I'm a writer. I don't have to come up with the title until the end of the story. But Katie, your end is coming up soon, I hope. God, if I have to be on this carousel from hell for another year, I don't know if I can do it, but I will, because I feel like I'm the only voice for Katie's son. I know what she's doing is wrong. I know she's abusing him, and it's taken me 5 years of like research, and like I've been going through my own shit as well. Like, there's a reason my channel never really grew, because Katie has affected me. Like, 2021 was a fucking hard year for me. I left YouTube for 6 months in total, maybe more, because I saw evil in Katie's eyes and like she petrified me. Like, I saw a predator, like, and it was, the first time was January 2021, Survival Day, take 2. Yes, because she didn't get the reaction she wanted from the first one, and Sue in chat was getting way more attention. So Katie started the live again, word for fucking word, and I never have. That's when I was like, there's no heart. It's just spewing. It's just acting. It's just everything is a script. Everything is fake. And then, it took 3 months off, and then I came back just in time for Gabby Petito, which I thought was bad enough, which led into the Josh's trial. And then, if you guys remember, I'm sure you do, because I can't look at that yellow shirt anymore and not think of that IG live where she demonstrated with her fingers. I'll link it below. I can't even talk. I feel so sick. And that's why I had to change my name, like from Crystal Bill to Cactus Bill, because I mimicked her name and like how it was on her logo. I couldn't even look at that without physically vomiting. Anyway, I don't know why I came back. No, I came back because this channel was giving me more in my life than anything. Like, how do I say it? Yeah, you guys, you know this, Cactus crew, if you've been here for a while. If not, you're about to know. I lost my marble. I lost my brain in 2019. And thank God I did, because for the first time in over a decade, I was able to leave my house. Like, I didn't have any mental illness. I didn't have any anxiety. I didn't have any depression. I was like free. Actually, I was just a mouth. And so, yeah, I went and lived my dreams, got on stage and did stand-up comedy. And then my mind came back at the end of 2019, and then 2020 started my channel. And then so doing these lives and talking and stuff, like, that's how it is when I'm on stage. I just talk to the audience like I'm talking to you guys. So you guys have like helped me build my self-confidence up that I haven't had in years. Like, prior to that, you know, DV relationship, overcame addiction, all that. And yeah, so I'm, don't say it enough, but I'm so grateful for this channel, and so grateful that, you know, Cactus crew, you have been there. And I've had the year from hell though. So I'm going to, if not in the next week or so, definitely first week of 2025, I will be replying to DMs. I know. And getting back on the comments, like, not, you know, replying to comments and stuff, because I really did detach from everything in my life to the point where this channel was my only constant. Yes, it was the only regular, it was my anchor. I haven't even seen I've seen my best friends, but yeah, I'm not on social media in my personal life for the past 2 years because of the narcissistic shit I've been going through. And it took me so long to realize that this person was a narcissist, because it wasn't until Katie woke me up to what narcissism is. And yeah, like, basically this person has turned my whole family against me, and it's just exhausting to fight that. So I've had to cut them off, but I will be seeing them at Christmas, and I might even air some dirty laundry. I just might set some shit in, you know, recorrect the narrative, because yeah, it's wrong, but there's a lot going on. But I'm back, and I hope I sound a bit more alive than what I have, because like I said at the beginning, I had an infection I didn't know, ended up in hospital, literally on my death door. No, is that it? Yeah, my death door, not yours, mine. Stared it in the eyes, and yeah, they were gonna give me a spinal tap. They were going to admit me to the psych ward. Yes, they didn't believe that I was sick, my doctors, because I was so, like, delusional. I don't know. When you have an infection and you've left it for too long, you're not quite making sense. So I'm glad that I made sense, but yeah, definitely got way more energy now and more clear mind, and Katie, fucking confidence to call you out. So like I said, once I'm back on TikTok, the truth will be coming, because people are shocked that you are neglecting an MRSA infection for this shit, to talk shit about someone. She's got a life-threatening infection. She could get sepsis. She could give it to her son. How does he not have it? How does he not have it? Toad kisses her. He must have it. They must all have it. And it's disgusting, because I don't think V's going to school. Or is he on Christmas holidays? I don't know how it works over there, because don't you guys start, like, your school year starts in December or something? No, it's completely different to our, you know, even your dates are like different. How you do everything is so different. but that's good. That's what culture is. Yeah. Laughter is the best medicine. Yup. And I have found that making people laugh, I feel like I was born for it. Like, when I hopped on stage for the first time, like, I've never felt so grounded in my life. I've never felt so like, this is my purpose, and I was calm as fuck. Probably because I didn't have a brain with anxiety, but even when I had my brain back and I was on stage, like, I'm calm as hell. Like, how does that work when you've got anxiety? Yeah, you just live with anxiety, and then you hop on stage and it's just non-existent. And I think that that is my calling. I've got to get back on stage next year. And then I'll add it to my channel, and then I'll have another channel. And Katie, isn't that one of your dreams? You wanted to be a stand-up comedian? Yes, because you think you're funny. I know. People would be laughing at you, not with you. I don't know if you'd even get a reaction. I mean, I've seen some people bomb. And yeah. So I think you should pursue it. Pursue that. Yeah. Well, you might need another career after you lose everything. Oh, guys, I can't focus. I was gonna talk with 1 second, let me just grab a drink. I just can't believe what we watched. Like, I just need to focus on chat and then listen to her on the side rather than, staring at captions. Like, if I just look here, I will survive and we will get through it. I need to get out of the survival mode and enjoy this torture. Oh, guys, but I can't do it without Cactus Crew. So thank God you're here. I so appreciate it. Oh, Michelle. Oh, I'm so glad you found this channel as well. What did I delete? Oh, how I deliver. I was like, and what did I delete? No. I need to increase. This is the thing. This is what's happened. Increase the, just make everything a bit bigger. That's what happens. That's it. Now I can see because I've moved my laptop into a higher position so that my neck doesn't end up like Katie's. No. But what's it called? Ergonomical or something. You found Katie through Micah Stoffer. Oh, was that the Huxley? And she quickly gave you bad vibes. Oops, what's going on? In that same week, I began to look into narcissism and then found Charlotte's channel. Oh, so good that, like, it didn't take you long, that you weren't out in the abyss for too long, like, you found your people. And then all your answers. I mean, Kate, when I first started watching Katie, my anxiety was peaking. Like, I couldn't watch someone who was continually touching their face and, like, her, it was too much. I don't know how I got over that. Probably by looking at captions. Gosh. I came in with the, Teen Mum crew. I mean, she came in at the perfect time with the Teen Mum crew, didn't she? Because it was the same year that Nugget was unalived by David Eason. And I'd stuck around with them for like a decade, hoping that Janelle's kids would be saved and like all the abuse that they went through would be exposed. And it has happened. So I have to hope that Katie will be exposed. And yeah, I'll just share all the links, and then you guys can watch them and give them a share and get that out there, because yeah, sometimes I feel like people don't watch my videos because I don't hate Katie like that. I don't know, because I just don't carry negative energy around in my life. Like, I don't hate people just because I hate them. I mean, I hate her for the abuse she's done to V, but I kind of hate her personality disorder and her mental state and all that, like, way. I hate her brain more. I don't know. That's just me though, because I that's my weakness. That's my weakness, that I don't hate her. I do. I can't say I don't hate her, because I feel like I'm disagreeing with myself as I just said that. I don't know, Kate. I hate your lives. Like, I hate your torture. I hate your monotone. I hate your inability to, yeah, your lack of self-awareness. But then do I hate that? No, because without self-awareness, we wouldn't have all the evidence that you have supplied, where you're abusing your son. And yeah, everything will be linked below in the pinned comment, because everything's just, my opinion, not fact. But yeah, watch the videos, come up with your own conclusion. They back whatever I said. And I appreciate you guys being here. Check out the CB Shorts. Like, share, comment. Oh yeah, and you can comment at It's Crystal Bill in the comments, replay crew. Or if you're in chat and I missed something, like I probably missed a lot, I really need to work on searching for videos by not using my brain, because it's hard to, I had to listen as well. There was a lot going on. And then, yeah, sippy cup. But yeah, this is the end of part 1, and I can't believe it's 2 hours. Like, it took me, I think we only watched 20 minutes. How do I up my game? How do I stop prolonging this torture for everyone? I'm going at it the wrong way, aren't I? And this is what I do. Spirit animal snail, it takes me a while to figure it out. Like, I would rather go the long way. Yeah, I do, don't I? I take, what is that Bloodhound Gang song? Take the Long Way Home. Oh, that is my song. Yes. Oh, Goose, Cactus, high five for being here and your tool and not putting SD in timeout. Or I might have accidentally clicked. Either way, SD, you might have, your words might have caused it. No, I'm just talking shit as usual. Yes, narcissism, just, it's so hard to understand. If you have emotions, like, because I have to turn my heart off. And that's not a good thing. How does she operate? I think having no self-awareness should be a disability, because she, we've watched her scratch down below and then take those fingers straight to the mouth. Yes, Katie did stuff down below. And no, not in the basement, but her basement. This is too much. I need to get this visual out, and I need to finish this live. Guys, thanks so much for for being here. Where would I be without you? Oh, take the wrong way home. That's a good one. Just for fun, Oh, Katie, I wish you took the wrong way. Well, you do. You don't deliver anything. You just give us all wrong information because what? Yeah. Make sure you check out the links. I'll catch you guys. We might do it on tomorrow, but I don't know if I should learn from my past experience because that exhausts me, or aim for Friday. Either way, part 2 will be in the next few days. So I'll catch you guys then. Take care.